It is 8 o'clock on a Thursday night, and we are live here with some Bearded Babble for you. Tonight is going to be an absolute blast. I don't even know if I should be sitting down. I should probably be standing up for this one because I have a feeling it's going to be some crazy fun energy tonight. Coming off of last night. If you didn't see last night's with Welly Jackson, I suggest you check that one out too. Just full of a lot of inspiration, a lot of comedy, just a lot of great stuff. Welly's an amazing comedian, an even more amazing human being, and you can just watch him just rise. He's got things, his TV shows, he's got a movie going to probably be coming out, hopefully I believe within the next year or so. He's going to be working on some stuff, so I suggest you check out that one from last night, the Welly, and check him out everywhere too, Welly's World podcast on YouTube. But that was a fun one. But again, we're going to be getting into, I'm just waiting for him to jump in. Tonight we have an exciting guest. A lot of energy, entertainment, talent. And again, too, it all goes back to I'm looking for people, and I'm really enjoying just doing this with so much talent and the energy. And that's what this person tonight is definitely going to bring to this. Nico is a he's a rapper based down in Florida. I believe he's from Brazil. We're gonna find out about that. Yeah, absolutely. He is the best hair in the biz. I tried to do my hair up tonight. I can't even compete with that because he is the man with the hair, the man with his lyrics. If you don't know any of his stuff, I suggest you check him out and you listen to it. An amazing lyricist. His beats are translucent. They draw you in. They're fun. It's an amazing vibe that he keeps you going. He's your hair twin. But that's some great hair. I'll tell you, I'm trying to get there. I'm working on it. My Stranger Danger co-host Kareem gave me some great hair product from Israel, which helped out my hair a lot too, because mine gets super crazy. Sometimes it's super frizzy, stand up. Sometimes it lays down. Sometimes it's all over the place. But shout out to Kareem for her Israeli stuff, because it's definitely giving my hair a little bit more bounce to the ounce, I guess. Stage presence out of the world too, absolutely. And I see he just jumped on in. We've been talking about him. I'm sure his ears have been ringing. We're just going to bring him in, and like I said, I think I'm just going to get rid of the chair because I just have a feeling that high energy night tonight. So buckle up, and here we go. Let's see the hair. That's the way to start a show, just like that. That is the way.
If there's one thing I know is how to start a show, my brother. Hold on.
What is going on?
This. We can go like this. What up?
What's happening? How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? This is a little dark. Let's get a right one. We can go with this one. Look. The Pornhub filter. What's cracking? There we go.
Oh my goodness! Like I said even before you came out, I said I may get rid of the chair. I have a feeling this is just going to be one of those high energy, fun, just bounce around and whatever happens type of babbles here tonight.
We can go this way too. Look. Yo, peace, bro. I appreciate you having me on, man.
No, man. Again, listen, man. My absolute honor to have you here. I mean, again, an amazing talent, an amazing energy. Again, I'm fortunate enough to have been connected to a lot of people with amazing energy that are attached to people around and your energy. So be able to connect with you, to be able to rock with you like this. I mean, it's an honor. Your music is inspiring. It gets you up out of it. It keeps you moving. But the thing is too is, again, you're fun with the meat. You're fun with everything. You're joking around. You're just one of those all around people. You're a Jamie Foxx. What can't
Wow. Jamie Foxx. What's your least favorite Jamie Foxx movie?
Least favorite
because that man really could make no mistakes, man.
I'm going through my head, and I'm just like, I don't want. No, I mean, everything that he touches turns to gold.
I haven't had the pleasure of meeting him yet, but when I do, I just want to tell him, like, man, what are you not good at?
Yeah.
Are you a great chef?
Yeah.
He's probably a great father. He's probably good at, like, fixing things. You know, like, my skills is in the creative art, man. This is a little too. My skills in the creative art. I don't really got skill. I can't build nothing. I can't put IKEA chairs together.
But
don't ask me for no handyman work.
But what you bring to the world, though, is, you know,
his hair.
I don't want to say more important because you don't want to take away from anybody, but it's equally important, and it brings a lot to the world, and you touch a lot of people with what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. We're just getting started. I'm very honored for all these things you're saying, and I'm also very blessed how this whole experience happened, you know, with Team Chappelle and all that, because you know, COVID happened last year, and obviously, I think you noticed, and you know, me as a touring artist, that was like my main thing, you know, like I've been very blessed that I've gotten the blessing with Kweli, and I've been touring with him for quite a few years. So when that happened, I was kind of like, oh, damn, all right. And then 3-4 months happened of quarantine, which was good because I got to create. I got to have a lot of free time and hang out with moms. And then I go on Instagram Live, and I see Diamond D playing the album. And I was like, oh, I guess I didn't make, because I contributed to that album and I didn't hear anything. But Kweli, like him, you know, Kweli's mysterious. He's enigmatic. Like, he don't tell you everything. Like, he, you know, like, it just always happens with him, you know, like, and Dave, like, these guys are magicians, you know, they just make it happen. They don't tell you about it's going to happen. It just happens. And then you kind of get, you know, and then I got a call, you know, so I'm watching the Instagram Live with Diamond D, and I'm like, oh shit, all right. I hear 10 songs. I'm like, all right, I guess I didn't make it. And then like, I think 11 or 12 is, I'll tell you later. And then I saw the footage, and I posted the footage because I was filming it. I was like, oh, sure. And then Dave reacts to it right away, and it goes crazy in the whole room. And he's like, what is this? What is this? And then I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there quarantining. I'm like, I'm like, yo, what the hell? And then the next day, I get a call. Your presence is requested in Yellow Springs. And I said no, because I actually had plans. I was moving back to California with my brother. We had rented a U-Haul. So we had a plan. I had no plans during the whole quarantine, right? I'm stuck at the crib, following protocol. And then after like 5 months into it, 6 months, I'm like, I'm going back west to see what happens, you know? And I'm glad I didn't do it. And I told Kweli, I was like, I don't think I can make it. And he's like, you sure? And then I was like, I called my brother. My brother's like, you're an idiot, bro. I don't need your help. Go there. Go to Ohio. And then I went, and then you know, I got there, and it was just like, and I had been there before. I'm cool with Dave for a few years, you know. He's came to I've been to a bunch of shows with him. We hung out. I've been to the Shack. I've been to his crib before, but it wasn't like that. I was kind of more like a hanger-on homie, you know. Like, he knew my shit. He knew I was dope, but like I wasn't like in yet, you know. Like, I was just like a friend of Talib's and shit. And then when that happened, it was like, oh man, I got welcome. I got the green carpet out there, you know. Like, I'm just hopping out. I'm seeing all of these people I look up to, and they're all like, "Tell you later. I'll tell you later." And it's like they've been listening to this song forever. Like, the song's still not even out yet. And they've been listening, and it was like a joke. For that first week, it was like, all right, I get it. Michelle Wolf and all these incredible people. They're like, hey, Nico, tell you later. And I'm like, so that's how it happened, you know?
It's amazing, and that energy, that whole vibe. I mean, you know, Donnell reached out at the beginning, and when they were even talking in the stages of it last year, and he was just like, I know what the answer is, you know, because of my son, because of his, you know, medical, he's very medically fragile. We can't go anywhere. We haven't gone anywhere. We're on lockdown. We're still be on lockdown for a while. But he said, we're going to be doing something. If you could possibly come out, we'll be taking all the precautions. We just couldn't take the chance. I mean, that was heartbreaking. That was absolutely heartbreaking for us. But I got to tell you, it was one of those things when I started, like, I knew what was going on before anybody else did. Like, you know, Donnell was sending me stuff, and it was nice to see. And then when I started seeing everybody's stuff on Instagram, at first it was kind of like, oh man, I wish we were there. But then I started looking at it as, no, you know, like, I'm still there in a certain way. I know, like, Donnell's man 40, he was wearing a lot of my gear while
I
we
love 40.
out there.
40 is a great man.
So every time I saw something, I knew that even though I wasn't there, the energy all the way here in New Jersey, we were feeling that energy from Ohio every day. And like I
Yo,
said,
bro, I had, and I never said this word ever, I think, in speak. I've had FOMO, right, for the first the first 2 months. Because Quali's been there. Quali's like, yeah, I'm just gonna be in Ohio. I like it over here. And it's like, it's a vibe, you know, especially for a New Yorker and shit. And, you know, like, it's completely different, man. Like, you know, he's been in New York and Cali, and, you know, he's always on the go and shit. To find somewhere that's quiet and tranquil, you know, and all these, like, serene and all these great words and shit, quaint, you know, like, and people respect him, and they treat him as one, as a villager, not even like as, you know, like, you know, the energy there is crazy. So, like, I was getting crazy FOMO for like the first month or 2 months, you know, but I was also like, okay, this is the way it has to happen. Them winning, I'm winning. And I'm blessed that I'm able to live vicariously through Instagram and shit, you know, and like all those experiences and stuff. So that for me was dope. But I remember it was like every night, because it was like, we didn't, what the fuck were we going to do during the first 4 months? So I was just re-binging shows, Sopranos. Or what am I going to watch now? What am I going to do this? You know, what am I going to eat? What's my sixth meal without moving? And I'm not used to being in one place for too long, man. You know, like I'm nomad vibes and shit, you know, like, and that's why touring, like, has became the best career for me and shit, because I just live on the road and I can just go different places and never get tired of anywhere, you know. And I was getting crazy FOMO, and I'm just watching, and I'm like, oh fuck, oh, who's there now? Oh shit, who's there now? I was like, but I manifested it. I'm like, I'm gonna be there if I gotta be there, you know, and if I'm welcome, you know, because I could have picked up a plane and gone, but it's like, no, you want the invite, you know, like in my case, like I don't want to just, like, these are my friends too, like I want them to win too, you know. It's not always just about me being included in the situation. And then when I got the call, I was like, oh wow, amazing. And I went there, and it was magic, man. It was, oh man, it saved my years. One of the greatest experiences of my life, you know, like the people, you know, like, and it was so private. It was like we knew something other people didn't know. We have our little secret, and like all the people that were involved and shit, and the local community, like Yellow Springs, amazing. Everybody's so dope and so welcoming, and such a vibe, you know. So I was very, very proud of everybody and how we were able to create a little bubble, and you know,
I think you,
and
I think you
everybody
hit the
felt
nail on.
like they were part of it too. Like a lot of people were like, oh, I was there, I saw that, I saw this. And with Instagram, it was still very inviting to a lot of people. And so like I really, that was something special, man. For I've been in special situations, but that was like, you felt it, you know. And like, you know, the close people that were in that little circle, it's like, you know, they're dope. So it's like you're just in a room, and you might not know that person, but you know they're dope. They're not just there for no reason.
That
Nobody, there's no hanger-ons. There's no, like, you know, no picture taken. It's just like, yo, we're just chatting, you know?
that's what I noticed. I noticed it like with Donnell and his circle, but then when I started getting around, like you said, like Team Chappelle, that's where I noticed that it all came from. It comes from just surrounding yourself with the same vibe of people that just want to just chill the same way, laugh at the same things, and just have a good time. And like you said, that's an important thing. I remember the very first Chappelle thing I went to years ago. I think it was a Saturday Night Live thing, and I remember the whole. It was before I knew who Country was, and I remember, you know, I mean,
Oh,
I'll never forget because I had no idea who he
good
was.
man.
First time I was
Very nice guy.
and exactly. But that night, Country was standing right in front of Dave on the stage, and Dave went into the speech. We're going to put the phones away, no phone. And I was like, I'd never, you know, been around that before. Like it was weird to me. Put the phones away. You know, I want to savor some of this. And then the way he put it, you know, we're going to make memories for us, memories that'll last a lifetime. And I remember like Country standing over, staring down at everybody, making sure they're putting the phones off. So of course, you put the phone off, And then you do realize that you have the greatest night of your life when you do it the way we did it as kids. No
Yeah,
phone.
and you
We
know,
all stay here.
yeah, and I'm in I've been in all these generations, like the young, you know, where I saw the beginning of it, but I still got the experience a little, the pre-technology era, you know, like, so I grew up, like, I was still blessed to have some things to me, you know, that it's not all filmed or it's not all posted or it wasn't all like, oh shit, let me, you know, I still got memories that I didn't capture and they're just for me in my mind. And I think that that's something underrated, man. I think because ultimately, like that's what we got, you know, we got our memories, man. That's our Rolodex of experiences, and
Yeah.
something that, and the best experiences I've had in my life have not been filmed, you know. Most of my Chappelle experiences haven't been filmed, you know, like, bro, there's been so many, you know, like even the pre-COVID and shit. And I never, and like when you're close enough, you can use your phone, you know. I could take my phone and film shit, but it's like I didn't want to. I was like, oh, I can still keep something for me up here, you know.
Yeah.
And I
It's
think that's rare. I think that's missing in a lot of people, man, because a lot of this new generation, they're all like really all about capturing everything and knowing everything all the time and access. You got a question, I can find the answer in fucking 5 seconds. You know, there's no thought process anymore. Like everything is just so like mechanical. You know.
now the scary thing about that is like I was talking to my daughter about that. She's 14, and it's what is like you said. My wife and I talk about it a lot. I'm 52 now, and
52.
yeah, I'm 52,
Oh man.
and it's. I mean, I've seen a lot. Like I've seen a lot more than you have, but it's amazing. Like I still, rotary phones that were connected to the wall with the cord. And you get called when you got call waiting. Call waiting was a huge thing when you heard that click and and it was like, and then caller ID. And now we have everything that we
Call
have
waiting.
in our
Yeah.
home here. So what's it going to be in 30 years? I mean, how
Call waiting wasn't even that long ago. I got to experience call waiting. Oh,
exactly?
hold on. Yeah, man, that's and the beep. And then people would. I also remember people trying to pretend they had call waiting, and they did it, but you would have to hear the beep.
You would hear the dial tone.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. House phones, you know, like. All,
Beepers. Beepers were the coolest things when they came
yeah,
out.
I didn't have a beeper. That's a little bit before me.
I had a few.
I wish I had a beeper. I feel like I want a beeper now.
It's because then you can decide, or you can when you call them back, you call them back. Say, I couldn't get to a phone. That's
Yeah, I think they should probably bring beepers back. I don't know. I think that could kind of work for like the improv, like cool artsy DIY. Just beat me, bro, and then you could just.
But where's it going to be in 30 years, though? Where's technology? Where's everything?
I'm afraid to find out.
Where's music going to be in 30 years?
That's a good question, man. That's a good question. I think that it's going to keep getting better and worse. You know, it's like things are just becoming so easy for people to do, and it's taking the grit out of it, man. It's taking the integrity out of things. And I don't know how much you know about me or what I do and how my shit, but like I'm very big on that. I'm very big on doing what the fuck I want to do, how I want it, and not going the popular route or trendiness and shit. Like I've been a stickler. I'm getting better and not being so hard-headed and shit creatively, but I can't even imagine, man. Like things are just so vain right now. There's just so much vanity, right? So imagine in 20 years, especially with this influencer thing and people, content creators and everybody, it's kind of scary. And it's also kind of inspiring, because there's a lot of trash, but there's going to be a lot of beauty, like with art, and I'm always the guy that finds the beauty. Like I don't, I come from Brazil, man. There's a lot of trash in Brazil, literally on the streets, but that's the most beautiful place. There's a lot of beautiful people, third world country, So it's like, I always find the beauty in situations. I pray other people could do the same.
That's an important thing, and a lot of people don't do that. You're right. No matter how bad something is, um, I use a lot of comedy for bad things. It's my way of dealing with it, laughing at it, but also like you said too, finding something good in it. Like you said, there may be a lot of bad in the music, but there is, like you said, some diamonds in the
Yeah,
rough.
but see, to me, there's not that much bad in the music because I'm negligent. I choose. I'm very specific the way I live my life, man. You know, like I don't want to have outside influences and shit. So I'm negligent to a lot of things. Technology, a lot. I'm not hip like that. I don't do shit. I don't have a computer even. Like I have this computer right here. I mean, I don't know what the fuck else do you need. That is, you know. So like I choose to be a little, you know, like technologically ignorant and shit, and to keep some things for me, man, because there's just too much out there. There's too much access. I don't want that much access. I don't want to give people that much access. You know, I still want to do things the harder way. You know, like, and if not, it takes the organicness out of things, man. You know.
Absolutely. Do you think that people are, and I think that we're starting to see a shift in a lot of things. I think people are getting tired of the calling out of everything, of the phoniness of it all. So do you think that people will start to look again for the real workers and stop, because like you said, everything is right here, but you can look at something that's right here and you can go, okay, that person did put some time into it, or that person didn't put any time into it. Will we start weeding that out?
I think we already do, man. You know, I do. I can't speak for others. You know, I try to speak for others. You know, ironically, and I just realized that I don't know that life. You know, I'm so ingrained in my own way of thinking and seeing things, and that I don't really know how Joe Schmo does his thing or how he experiences his experience. You know, I know how I do it. And I know what I look for in things, and it's what I look for in people. It's integrity, it's truth, it's honesty. You know, these are the things I want in my art. You know, these are things I want in my food. You know, it's very consistent. So like I already do that, like weeding out of influences and shit. So I don't get too attached or attacked by that, you know, like, cause that can go the wrong way, man. You can go down rabbit hole of conspiracies, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, thank God, you know. And you go to rabbit hole of mediocrity, rabbit hole of fucking, you know, influencers, bullshit, you know, like real quick. It's like a click away, man. You know, you could be watching some fire shit, you know, and all of a sudden you're not watching some fire shit, and you just got led down this path, and then you're either stuck there or, you know, like you're gonna embrace it. It's like I gotta be very specific with my influences. Like, I gotta be specific with the people around me, you know, like I can't be having people that are not incredible and powerful and strong and inspiring and, you know, around me, because that's just gonna affect me ultimately.
Yeah,
You know?
that's something I talked about last night with the comedian Welly Jackson. We talked a lot about the team. And again, that goes back to something that I've seen through Donnell and I've seen through Team Chappelle. It's the team around you is so important. And he had talked about something last night too, about how a lot of times too, he could be doing something, and then when he's ready to pass the baton, they're already running with the idea and they're already going. Like he could be like, okay, this is what's going to be next, and they're already, oh, it's already done. You know, and that's what you want too. You want that around
Yeah,
you.
teamwork, man. I mean, look, this person said it's irresponsible to not take advantage of knowledge with too much accessibility is dangerous. You know, and that goes for a lot, man. You know, like that goes for drugs. You know, like imagine being a millionaire at 18, man. You know, and that's why we lost a lot of these incredible young artists with a lot of potential. It's like imagine, that's some bars. We don't get a lot of time, and I'm here. Right. You know, so imagine having that level of access, bro, like at 18, you know, like, and I've been a little blessed with my situation. So I've had a lot of access in different situations, but it's always been kind of limited, and the universe has been kind of looking out. Maybe I've been doing a good job too of like not being just dodging, you know, like too much accessibility. Cause like, man, that, you know, that can definitely ruin a lot.
Yeah, it's a dangerous thing, and you do see that a lot. It's things come too quick to people who are not ready for it, and I believe
Bars. Ooh, I
I believe
like it.
it. Yeah, age has a lot to do with it. I mean, you know, you're growing. You're in your 30s, right? Around 30.
Yeah, yeah, young,
Yeah,
young 30.
you're young, and I can say that I'm a much different person than I was at that age than I am now. You just grow, learn, and I think that's the thing too. Is I think like right now, that's why I love doing this, because I'm meeting new people, I'm talking, and I'm learning. I'm not done. Yeah, because I'm old and this, that, the other thing. No, I still want to learn as much as I can. I want to share as much as I can. I want to, you know.
Yeah, that's the energy, man. It's each one teach one, and like I don't know nothing, bro. I know one thing is I know nothing. And like I'm always on a quest for knowledge. That's just how I like to live my life and everything. I just want to keep learning. And being in that Chappelle situation, bro, I was learning a lot, from many different angles, not just from, from my, bro, I was learning, like how to move in a room. Like Jay-Z says, you got to learn how to move in a room full of vultures, and it's like, there's a lot of people in that room that want the access. And I had a conversation with some of the homies there. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy how some people treat other people differently to get to where they want to get. And I saw, I've always seen it with Kweli and shit. Like, I've been with Kweli for a minute. I see how people treat me to get to him, or how they treat this person to kind of get the little access. And with Dave, it's even fucking crazier, like, because he has built such a incredible bubble of him and his crew and his people who ride for him, And I see people, man, with ulterior motives, even some closer people, and I see how they move when they want a little bit more access. They're like, oh, this guy is probably going to take my access. I feel threatened, like, let me, like, what is it? The bird fucking sticks out its fucking,
Yeah, it's
what is it?
radar.
The peacock? No, is it peacock?
Yeah. Feathers.
Feather. And I see it, man, because I'm in there. And the thing is, I don't need to be in there. I'm there because I enjoy being there. I'm blessed. I'm just smoking trees the whole time, bro. Like, I'm in the corner, quality smoking trees, having Japanese whiskey. Like, I'm Gucci, bro. I'm good regardless. Like, I'm just humbled to be there. I'm not there, like, oh, no ego. Bro, I don't even exist in that room. I'm just happy to be in that room. So, like, and there's times that room that was heavy. I was like, bro, I was there. Bro, Andrew Yang, Kevin Hart. Like, I'm not going to be talking in that room unless you ask me something. I want to listen. I talk all the time, bro. Like, I talk for a living. I want to sit there and listen. And I don't want to be tempted to, like, pull the phone out or something. Like, I want to keep that energy, like, I want to keep those conversations, things I saw. It was
Exactly.
like, man,
Exactly. It's the same thing. It's like my wife said too one time. I remember I think during the Radio City run, we were backstage at one of the shows, and she was just like,
I wish I was there for that.
We were there for a bunch of them. Yeah, we
Yeah,
probably
radio.
crossed paths too. It was. She said it feels like we're in like a Chappelle show skit a lot of the time because there's just so many people and there's so much laughter and there's so much energy and it's just like an amazing thing just to be able, like I said, to sit back and see that and to not, you don't have to be involved. If you get involved, if somebody comes up to you, that's fine. But it's just a chill vibe where everybody's just having, and it's like you said, it's not, look at this one, look at that one. I want to take a picture with this one. It's, and like you said, it does take a little getting used to that too, because at
Yeah, I
first
mean,
you're
bro,
like,
it's a shock. It's definitely a shock, and you can tell the people who can't handle it, because
yeah,
it's such a Chappelle show skit. Because it is a Chappelle show skit. It's literally the Chappelle show with people who've been in the Chappelle show. And like, like, that was so life changing to me. Like, I grew up on it, obviously. Like, I used to watch Kweli on it. So, like, yo, the way my situation is just so, like, mind blowing that I'm so blessed that I was able, like, because I literally was watching Kweli on Chappelle show, and then I went and did Chappelle show with Kweli, and like, and I see it, man, and there's moments that it's just too funny, man, but it's too real, and you see it, and you just see, like, why he's such a genius, man, of how he's so able to, transcend, like, the boundaries of what comedy is and shit, and he's able to, like, make it something else, and it's not even funny sometimes. It's just so real. Like, 846 wasn't funny. Like, that shit was real. That shit was too real that it was funny, but it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
having that, like, connection to something deeper than that, man, and not filming it and being able to keep that energy for yourself, is an incredible experience. It was an incredible
yeah,
experience that I'll forever cherish. And I made a record about it. So I probably shouldn't say any of this. on this, but I'll chat with you about it. There's a song with yeah, we'll talk about it.
Oh, we'll definitely talk about
There's
that
a
one.
song about it, you know, that captures all this, and Dave's on it and shit, and Donnell, bro, like we could just talk about him the whole time because Phil, that besides being, I think the greatest comic I've ever seen, you know, next to Dave, and like, bro, I've never seen that level of mastery, and I got to see him work for like 25 shows. I was there for 25. I don't know, 28, 30 maybe. And yo, his level of mastery and the way he's able to improv, and like I've never seen it. And I saw all these other legendary comics show up and shit and bomb, you know, like Chris Rock came, couldn't really hang. Like that's kind of weird to say, you know. And then you see Donnell Rollins come and absolutely like, and I'm just sitting there in awe. I'm like, how is he able to do it and use so many different forms of comedy? Like he used slapstick, he uses prose, he uses you know, accents, and you know, like, and I talked to Kweli about that too, and because I would be so not shocked, man, you know, but like I didn't grow up getting to go to see these guys live, you know, like I only saw them live on TV shows and shit, you know. So then to be able to be backstage, and every night they're working. And they're working new material. Well, not everyone, but Donnell, you know, like, yeah. And I'm like, how's he doing it? Like, I said, we just did this yesterday, you know, and that inspired me a lot because I do that a lot. That's how I like to, you know, I freestyle my shit, you know, like I freestyle most of my shows, you know. I like that level of improv. That right there inspires me, man. You know, if you could do that in front of people, you know, like out of nowhere, that's magic.
Yeah, he's
That's
he's an absolute master at his craft, and he I'm kind of his student, but he's I want to say he's probably the best teacher because he's not a teacher. I've
mm-hmm.
asked him so much to help me out
So
with comedy,
effortless.
and he says you know, the thing that he will say is, if you want to do comedy, if you want to learn comedy, the stage. That's it. You got to be on that stage. You're
Mm-hmm.
not going to learn anywhere else. You're not going to learn it from a book. You're not going to learn it from somebody. If you want to do something, you have to do it. You have to commit to it 110%, and that's where you're going to learn is on that stage. And again, like he's yelled at me for not being animated enough on stage, for moving enough. And then I've gone and I've watched him, and I say this too. There was one I watched with his hour set. His eyebrows moved more in that hour than my eyebrows probably move in a year. It's just everything is a part of the act, and it's amazing.
He's an M, bro. But see, the thing is, there's not an act, right? You know it because you obviously work with him, and you know, like that's a homie and shit, and you get to see it and you get to hang. You know, I think that real art, man, is not an act, right? I don't believe in that, like. And this is a very common thing in rap, you know, and that whole like Ziggy Stardust concept, you know, we come in and it's like, oh, all of a sudden we're a fucking rock and roller from fucking outer space, and we got spiders from Mars, and then they get off stage and they take their fucking entertainer mask on, and then they go to be whoever they are, toxic people, or you know, like I just don't believe in that. What for fucking real art, you know? Like Dave doesn't turn Dave off. You know, there's no like he doesn't go on stage and it's like, oh, well, let me do the Dave Chappelle skit, you know? And like Kweli, there's no like, you know, you chill Kweli, like that's fucking Kweli all the time. That's Donnell all the time. He's brilliant. He's funnier off stage.
Yes.
You know, like, and like, yo, chill with him, smoke with him and shit, bro. Go on the lake with him. Then you laugh. It's like, yo, this guy is just so good. And it's just endless mastery, you know?
It's absolutely endless. And I mean, you know, it's nonstop with everything. And again, like I said, I wasn't there, but vicariously, I got to live through. And I probably should apologize to you because if you saw some of the memes with the kickball games, I mean, some of the stuff got posted, but some of the stuff I know just went the rounds within everybody. And I mean, you know.
Yeah, some of it wasn't too nice, but I put that on Donnell. It's Donnell, some Donnell's conscious. I remember sending him some text messages like, that's not very nice, man. And then I forget he's a fucking comic. You know, like, you don't want to, like, you know, have roast sessions with the fucking king of comedies, you know? Like,
I mean,
like
that's the thing that I say all the time. I mean, a lot of the stuff that gets put up that we work on together or whatever, but it's there's almost for everything that gets put up, there's almost something that doesn't get put up,
Hmm.
just because of it might cross the line or it might offend too many people. So I mean, it goes a lot deeper. And again,
And the thing is, he's pretty like there's he'll cross that line because he believes in it and his heart is pure, and like that's the difference. I know him, bro. I know what you know what a good person he is and how generous and genuine he is in situations and stuff. So like I know it, so it's never gonna come off wrong because
yeah,
his intention's not that,
yeah.
right? But my mom always said the world is paved with good intentions. So it's like that's also something we got to wrestle with, you know. Like I don't think he's capable of a malicious attack on anything ever. But this is comedy in 2021, you know.
Yeah, it's a tough place, and again, I'm glad, and especially like Dave is at the forefront of the. Listen, it's comedy. We're gonna keep doing comedy. Don't tell us what to do. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. And I think
That's
the
a tricky man. That's a tricky situation too, man. Because in 2021, like you can't get away with anything. So I can't even imagine these old schoolers, you know, and like even people like who came up on like the Richard Pryor and like George Carlin and shit. Like, man, it must be. It's really hard to be a comic now. Like, you really got to be good. You can't get away with cheap laughs anymore. You can't
no,
get away with racist shit. You can't even get away with sexual shit. So it's like you got to be you. You got to be that good, you know, or you just got to be genuine, you know. And I
well,
think that if you're genuine enough, people will understand. I think I would like to think that.
well, I think real recognizes real, and I think that's what Donnell brings. And I believe. I mean, I'm no listen. I know this may be hard for you to believe, but I'm no rap expert. But I know.
Yo, listen, there ain't that looks in hip hop, man. It
But
doesn't matter, man.
but that's the thing. Listen, I've been
You
listening
live
to
in New Jersey. I'm sure
all
you
my
know a little,
I
quite a
grew up
bit
all
about
my
hip hop.
life, all
Oh,
my
so you know quite a bit of hip hop.
I know quite a bit of hip hop. I mean,
Chino, David
just
Byrne.
just the simple fact that I get to call Jerobe White a friend is an, I mean, my entire teen years were like him bumping in
Jerobi.
the back of my truck. The bass just, tribe just
Yo,
bumping.
Jerobi just, man, it's so funny, man, because same, right? Like I geek out. I got a text from Jerobi 2 days ago. I was like, brother, I miss you. I got a vibe. You got to pull up on it. And I'm like, at first I had to be like, oh, damn, that's Tribe Called Quest. You know, like, I miss you too, man. I've always missed you. You know, like, I've missed you before I met you. You know, like, it's kind of surreal, you know, when you get in those circles. But it's like, man, it's not surprising because the world is very small when you are dope. You know, like, when you're really dope, the world is small. That's a bar right there. Right there. You know, but when you're not that good or you haven't found it yet, when you don't have it, the world is so big, man. And it seems like you don't know anything, like you'll never be able to accomplish anything and shit. Like I felt that feeling before, you know. It didn't last long, thankfully, you know, but like I felt that feeling. I'm like, man, everything is just so hard and so unattainable. How am I gonna, you know, like everything is so far. How am I gonna get to a Dave Chappelle? Like, bro, that's not 6 degrees of separation. That's fucking 66. That's 600 degrees of separation. That's not normal, you know, like that's beyond normal. It's not new normal or anything, you know. So I still gotta pinch myself for those situations, you know, to have to remind myself, be like, man, you know. And then you get into that world, you realize how shit is so small, man. And everybody that's dope knows each other. It's like, oh yeah, of course, oh boy, yeah, that's true, bro. Come on, of course you know that. And you realize that, like in there, like, and Dave has fucking the greatest friends because they're like so complex and diverse and stuff. You know, like I was in the room with the randomest people, man. Like literally the randomest people, man. And they're all dope. You know, they're all dope in their respected fields. You know, some are artists, some are musicians, some are civilians, and some are nurses. You know, but they're dope as hell. Like there's always solid people, and then the world just gets smaller when you're dope. You know, that's why I think all these rappers like date the same woman You know, like, and all these actors would just be having the same girlfriends and shit. Because it's like, it's such a
Yeah.
small world when you get it. And then when you get really close, like, bro, Dave's world is probably so small and big, you know, like, think about the circle as him, like, the people that are in that circle, like, you know, David Byrne, look, the real David Byrne.
The real David Byrne. Again, another one that I got to see and live vicariously through. I enjoyed his posts
David Byrne's the coolest
throughout the
guy ever.
summer.
David Byrne is everyone's spirit animal. He should be the Yellow Springs mascot, right? Yeah, you should have Dino's coffee and then David Byrne hanging off it with a guitar and a cigarette. And a cigarette. He's like on the back pages of history. Now you go back, like him and Issa too. Go look at their fucking. Every time you see a Dave Chappelle picture, you're gonna see David Byrne in the corner, like,
Yes.
or you'll see Issa like this, like every picture. You know, it's amazing.
It's like find the real David Byrne. It's like the Easter egg. You got to find it in every picture. It's somewhere. He's somewhere in there.
Yeah, I was praying that we would be at Chappelle, and then he would bring David Byrne out from fucking Talking Heads and shit. And be like, "Oh, we got some music tonight, dude. We got some music," and it'd be like a face-off. It'd be like that Spider-Man meme, you know? David Byrne.
That was the first. I forget. Somebody had tagged him in a picture, and I saw the tag or something. And I was like, "The real David Byrne was there." And then I was like, "Oh wait, oh no!" But he's again not taking anything away from him. But it was just like the name is. It's just. I'm sure he gets it all the time.
I made a song about him. You know that?
No.
So, I made a song called "Rib Night at the Calypso."
Yes, I did. Yes, I saw the video and everything.
Yeah, and there I say, I know David Byrne, the real David Byrne. You know, because the first time I ever went to Yellow Springs, which is like maybe 3 years ago, I invited Quali. He's like, "Yo, yeah, we going out to Yellow Springs, we're gonna chill with Dave and shit." And I was like, "Oh, okay, Dave." I was like, "All right." I had met Dave a few times, and then I get to Yellow Springs and shit. I have to fly into Dayton, and then I fucking drive to Yellow Springs. And then they're like, Quality's like, "Yeah, we eating right now. We at the Calypso." And then I go to the Calypso, and I get there in the middle of Ohio, and it's like a Jamaican restaurant. Have you been there?
No.
Have you been to Ohio?
No, I'm possibly
okay,
here, but yeah.
We're gonna make it happen. All right, man. So
I'm hoping.
yeah, no, definitely, it's definitely gonna happen, and it already happened. You know this. It's just
Yes.
you know. Yeah. So there's this Jamaican restaurant, Jamaican-ish. It's like it's a white-owned Caribbean restaurant, for lack of better, Caribbean. And and I walk in, and it's just like it was Dave and his beautiful family. It was the first time I met Elaine and the kids and shit, and everybody was there and shit. It was like a long ass spread, and I sit there. I'm like, "Oh shit, hey, what's up, dude?" Oh, hey. It was just like a normal dinner. And I'm like, okay. Dinner with Chappelle's family and shit, And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh, okay, get a menu, And they bring a menu, and it's like this diverse Caribbean ass menu. Like they had Brazilian steak and shit. Like it was very strange. It was very weird. In the middle of Ohio, and I got it, and then the next day, or I think the next time I came, I made a song about it. I was like, me and Issa got close. I was like, we got to make a song. Let's make a song. And then I got that beat, and then we booked a studio in Yellow Springs. And then David Byrne was there, and I was chilling with David Byrne, and I had already thought about that name and shit, David Byrne. I'm like, bro, your name is David Byrne, spelled with the Y and shit. Like, you never got this before, And then I made a song about it. It's fucking great, man. Me and Issa, we shot a video at the Calypso. And Donnell is in it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Donnell's the intro and the outro.
Yes.
Yeah. We made Old Fashioned in the Girl. Yes, we did. So it's a great record, man. So that was very symbolic to me, And then since then, I've eaten at that place like 1,000 times. It is what it is. Like it's a fucking Caribbean spot in Ohio. It's a blessing, though, But it's right by Dave's spot and shit. So it's literally like right there. And then now they use it as their fucking theme song.
Now for you, for writing a song like that, basically like in a day and coming up with the beat, is what's like your general like process of doing it? Is it always that easy for you? Oh, I think we got a clock up here. Okay, they're back. You're back.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
I can't see myself. Oh, there
You
I am.
there? You good?
Yeah, I forgot.
Wait, now I lost. Getting a little spotty. You good?
Is it good?
I hear you. Woof. Wi-Fi. Always Wi-Fi issues, man. Non-stop Wi-Fi. It's just messing with me all the time.
Rib night. Oh, look, it was shot by Chino Chase. Look, Chino Chase is right there. Chino Chase is incredible video man, artistic great man from Texas, and he does all the quality stuff recently and the Vibrate Higher quality TV show he has with him. So Chino Chase,
Wow.
great man. Chino Chase has been all in the place. I really got
And
FOMO
that's
in Austin and Texas. That's where I got FOMO too.
I can imagine.
Because I love that place, man. Stubbs,
it's
they make great barbecue.
Yeah, I remember Donnell talking about the place, that it was basically a barbecue, like it's known as like the barbecue spot, and it's also a comedy place.
Yeah, it's like a venue, you know. And I don't know if you ever know about South by Southwest.
Yes, yeah.
But South by Southwest is maybe this is fucking it up. South by Southwest is a fucking convention in Austin, Texas, and stuff every year with like musicians and artists and stuff. I got so much heat. Which way? You know, and they have this place called Stubbs, and it's an incredible barbecue spot, like venue-ish, and they used to throw the biggest shows there during the South by Southwest. So it's just kind of strange because it's a straight up barbecue joint, you know, but like it has a huge like backyard thing, outdoor and shit. It's a great place to play.
Well, now that's the thing too, that things are going to be changing now. Now, performance-wise, like you said, you miss touring and everything like that. When it comes back, how do you think is it going to be that much different? Are we going to ever get back to normal, or what do you think shows being in the future?
Well, I'm glad you asked this because I'm in Florida right now, and it's fully open, and it's back stronger than ever. Right? I haven't done any shows yet. I did one 2 nights ago. I did a special appearance at my friend's set in Orlando at Soundbar, which is a local venue here. It's dope. Indoor, muggy. It was completely packed. It was sold out. You know, this Florida, so this is kind of like the mask on the chin type energy. So they bring the mask, but they keep it here, kind of, you know. Yeah, so it's kind of strange. It was kind of strange for me. It wasn't the safest, but it is what it is. It's Florida, you know. Florida, they don't really care. Tomorrow, I'm doing a pop-up show here in Orlando. It's a socially distanced outdoor show, but it's my friend's show. I'm just doing a special situation. I haven't done my own thing yet. I don't know. I'm getting comfortable. I'm not fully comfortable yet with doing shows and shit. It just seems a little crazy, you know, like my own at least. But I'm ready, you know, like now vaccines is popping and shit. Like, you know, like shows are already popping in Florida. There's no limit here whatsoever. There's no limit whatsoever. And techno DJs are the ones that are winning. Techno DJs
so
are like,
you're doing.
What is that?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No, I was saying, so you're going to be doing one that is socially kind of distanced. Would you be willing to and hope that there'll be more of that, so we can kind of get things moving along, if we can at least be safe for a little while and then hopefully open everything back up?
Yeah, I mean, I like that concept. I'm a fan of it, you know, outdoor, socially distanced, people got their own situation, like the mask. Like, I'm not mad at any of that, man. Like, I'm really not upset at any of that situation in everyday life. It's not too disturbing. It's safer. You know, people got their own space and limits. Like, that's pretty dope. I don't want to be that, you know, but I just want it to be safe, you know, as long as it's safe and, you know, like we're able to, like, you know, but I can't wait to tour, man. I hope it comes back and, you know, but it's going to come back in a different way. It's gonna have to, you know.
Now, how is it for you? Like tomorrow night, just jumping back up on stage. Is your energy just right there, just like it never fell off, or
Oh
are
my
you a
God,
little stale? Or
never still,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
never. Yeah, I mean, I'm always performing in here, man. You know, and I live in the studio, so you know, and I got to test that 2 days ago because I only did one song with the homie, but it was pretty energetic and it was a vibe and it was like, oh, I felt good, man. You know, because I performed at the Chappelle shows quite a bit, you know, but that was different. You know, that wasn't really like that. Like that was like, man, you know, like that was just the next level. Like, and it was just next level. It was way too safe. It was way too perfectly orchestrated. It didn't feel like it felt more like an appearance, you know. And it was like, you know, to go back to like a concert, like that was pretty crazy these last 2 days, you know. So I mean, I'm excited, man. You know, I'm excited to be back on stage. I'm excited for people to get more work, and you know,
Now,
it's,
now, now, I know you've been, like I said, you've been busy. You've been, I mean, that's a wonderful thing. Like people like yourself that throughout this time continued working, continued creating. You know, you just got to keep moving forward. You just dropped an album, did you?
I did. I dropped the first album of the year called 88 Days a Week. It's great.
Now, how long did it take you to come? Like, what time period was it? Some old stuff? Was it all new stuff?
Well, this it's been like 2 years in the making, but more so the whole process. You know, like the album was recorded over a few months. You know, but I got hired by my homie California Terry to do a song for him, and then one song turned into a few, and then a few turned into a whole album, and then we developed a great relationship. We're great friends. You know, he came on tour with me. He started filming a lot of the tour. He's also a videographer and shit. So we were always building up to that. And then COVID happened, and it was like he was in Florida, so I was able to go build with him on the safe tip, and we recorded a lot, and we got to film and experiment a lot with visuals. Um, so I'm excited that that finally came out. 88 Days a Week, you know, with California Terry. I'm dropping merch this week. I got air freshener. I got mouse pad. Fucking mouse pad, CDs, T-shirts, yeah, yeah. Terry is one of those guys that I was talking about, like who live in their own world and don't want to conform to technology and shit, and just do it. They have their own way of doing things, and I admire that, man. I admire people that just move how they move. Like I don't care that people don't listen to CDs anymore. I do. I drive a Fire Benz that only plays CDs, and I got to change CDs from the fucking you got to go to the trunk and change. Like, it's a great concept, you know? Like, he still has mouse pads, you know? Like, it's interesting, you know? Like, I appreciate that. I tend to attract that in producers, you know? All and I only work with one producer per album, you know? And I really only have been working with Thanks Joey, my partner in Colors of the Culture, since we were 14, man. So we started together. He produced everything I've ever did. Up until last year, where I dropped a Sofrito album, which is the Latino joint with El Bless, who's an incredible Puerto Rican producer. And he, again, is also him, you know? So it's like, I appreciate that. I appreciate that because you hear that in the music. People that are nonconformists, that are like, they just do it how they want to do it. You know, you ever watch Lord of War?
Lord of War.
With Nicolas Cage and Jared Leto?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, so I'm not going to say it, but you should watch that movie. It's a fucking fire movie. It's Nicolas Cage's best movie.
I'll definitely have to check that. That's one of my wife's favorite actors, Nicolas Cage. So I'm sure I'll be
Really?
like, hey, we got like okay, whatever.
She must be a cool person. We
She
love
is.
Nicolas Cage, yeah.
She is. She is. Now you were saying now you guys hooked up at you were 14. So
Yeah.
you've been doing this forever. When did you know? When did you realize that you had something that you could manipulate? Not an easy word. Manipulate words the way that you do. That you could create something with them.
The first time I heard Tupac's album, you know, I got attracted to it, and I'm like, But it took a few years for me to actually develop the skill to be able to do it. Like I knew I had it before I had it. So it's kind of like blind faith, you know? Shout out to Blind Faith. I love that album, by the way. I don't know if you listen to Blind Faith. It's great. 70s rock bullshit. So like I was a believer in my shit before I was even there, you know? And so was Joey. Thanks, Joey. And we got together and, you know, he was my producer and he didn't even make beats. Like, you know, we dropped the album when we were 14. Another fucking mixtape album recorded in the fucking bullshit, you know, fucking little headphone gamer mic and shit, you know? Like, we actually recorded on tape cassettes, too. Wow. Like, you know, like, microphone into the tape cassette over beats and shit, you know? And he was my producer, and he didn't even know how to make beats. But he taught himself how to make beats. And I taught myself how to MC, and, you know, I went through it, but, like, you know, like, took some hours, man, you know? Like, you know, like, but I believed in it. I felt like I had it. I was like, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I didn't even really have it then. So I'm very fortunate that everything caught up to each other, you know? That my manifestation caught up to my execution.
Now has that been your whole life?
Yeah.
Just music? Just that you stayed focused and you knew that that's where you wanted to go and that's what it was?
Yeah, I mean, I had, you know, the first years where I wasn't to have no success with it, and I did a bunch of random shit. Like I was just telling my moms about when I was a fucking taxi driver. I used to be a fucking taxi van driver and shit. Like I was like, I can't even believe it because I don't even drive anymore. You know, so I was like, I actually used to be a fucking taxi van driver and drive to fucking Disney and shit. Like, you know, like it was very strange. You know, but I was still doing music, but I hadn't found it yet. You know, like it took me a while to find my voice. You know, like, and I rapped in a lot of different voices before I found mine, you know, and that was more like the trip, you know, because like I was really good at putting words together at 14, you know, like I had it, but I didn't have a voice. I wasn't saying anything. There's nothing there. It was just like karaoke almost, you know what I'm saying? Like it took a while for me to kind of catch up to myself and really be able to say something. It took a lot of life. Actually, you know, it took me living life and going here and moving over here and trying life and shit and failing. And then eventually I just heard my voice. And, you know, as soon as I found it, man, it was like the first album I dropped was like, okay, this is my voice. It's not there yet, but that's you, you know. And then as soon as I found me, that's what it really took off for me, you know.
That's an important thing. And I think that I've learned that a lot in comedy too. That's the thing. You need to, for you, I guess, like in comedy, to be able to connect with people in the audience, similar to as you need to connect with your audience. You need to be real, because any audience, no matter whether it's a comedy audience, whether it's a music audience, everybody's looking for real. Everybody can recognize it, and they can know when it's not. So, like you said, when you find you're comfortable, then you're going to be giving you. And when you're going to give that, it's going to be accepted, and it's going to win every time.
Yeah, I fully believe that, bro. I fully believe that. And I think you can see people who are them, you know, like you can see through it, man. I think I can, you know. Sometimes we're wrong, you know, in like cases like fucking some rappers and shit, you know. But, you know, like you should be able to dictate what's real and what's being sold to you. I would think that, you know. And that's the hardest part as an artist, man. You know, some people never find their voice, man. I know incredible, talented musicians and writers and actors who just don't got it. They don't have an original voice. They don't have nothing original to say to the world. And that right there is the only thing I'd ever be afraid of, you know? Like not being able to like, but you do something for so long, you know, but it's not you. Like it's a horrible feeling. That must be a horrible feeling.
I think you just said the right word there. You just said that you're not afraid. And I think that's a problem with a lot of people. I think a lot of people are afraid to truly be themselves, especially in this day and age where
Tell me about
you can be called weird, or you can be called this, or you could be called that. You know, it is nice to see. This definitely is an age where people are coming out in many different ways. And you are beginning to see who people truly are. It is a wonderful thing. But again, so many people have that fear of, okay, I want to do this, but I think I should do this because that's what I think that people want, or that's mainstream, or I tried to do this and it didn't seem to go so well. But like you said, you may struggle at first, but when you truly find yourself and you keep giving yourself, never give up on yourself. Keep giving yourself, you'll find your audience.
That's
Your audience
beautifully
will
said.
find you.
Mhm. I think that too, man. I think that you will find your audience if you do it long enough, and if you do it from a organic place, you know. But it might not be the audience you think it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might not be how you imagine things. You know? Let me grab a phone charger.
Phone charger. Take a little water break while phone charger. Watch the eyes up there.
Abre esa cosita para mí, por favor.
Ah,
Yeah, man. I fucking eat Japanese food if I get to charge my phone.
yeah, I plugged mine in right before we started. If I would have forgot, mine would have been out a long time ago.
Yeah, you're a pro, though.
I'm learning. Like again, I don't know what I'm doing here. This is basically it. Just started as a again. I can't get out much. Again, I live vicariously through people like you, through everything that goes on with Donnell and Team Chappelle and everything like that. I mean, I love it, but this gets me out. This is my Friday night. This is my hanging out with somebody and having a great time. Just
That's
talking,
beautiful, man. And I
learn.
appreciate you. I appreciate you for having me, and I appreciate you for having these conversations, man. It's very free and therapeutic, and you know, everybody has their way that they react. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, and that's all it is. It's just, and again, we talked about it a million times, and that's what it all comes back to. It comes back to a good energy. It comes back to just being around people like you said. I mean, it's amazing sometimes when you realize if you just put out good energy, if you just put out a good vibe, you'll get that back, and you'll find the people, and you'll be amazed at the people. I mean, I never thought in my life that I would be able to call the people that I call family. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. I mean, Dave Chappelle and Donnell Rawlings basically saved my life in a way.
Wow.
And now I get to, call them friends. I mean,
Wow. Cheers to that. Me too. Cheers
I
to
mean,
that.
I don't know, if you know the story, with my son when he got sick, it was 15, 16 years ago when he got sick, and he was in horrible shape, wasn't going to make it, and it was just the worst time of our life. We had lived in a hospital for 2 weeks. Then they sent us to another hospital. He was home at the time, didn't know what was going to happen. My wife finally went home, got the mail, brought everything in. The Chappelle Show first season DVD had just come out. We had pre-ordered it. It came in during that time. So we're going through the mail. You get bills. Okay, we got to take care of that. That can wait. Chappelle Show first season, and that can wait. And as I was putting it down, it was, no, we need that right now. It was about to go down in the it can wait pile. And it came back up, and it stayed at the hospital. And that very night in the hospital room with 3 other families in the room, all with kids in bad shape, we all sat there and we put that in. And it brought laughter to that room that I can guarantee you to this day, we have not stopped laughing. And that
Wow,
laughter
bro.
more for my son and for my family. So again, to be able to call these people friends, to be able to tell Charlie Murphy that story before he passed, it's just amazing. Like I said, these people don't realize it, but they made our life livable.
Oh,
They made what we go through every day doable because we laugh at it. And then Donnell taught me that because I joke about it, when comedians and people of comedy are together, the conversations wouldn't go so well in the real world sometimes.
oh no, hell no.
Open.
Hell no.
And when I started talking with Donnell and we realized that we're on that exact same level, it was just, you need to tell your story. And again, my comedy is dark. My comedy is deep. It jokes about a lot what we go through with my son. It jokes about medical issues. It jokes about a lot of things that some people cringe a little, and then they realize, okay, this is his therapy.
Well, man, first of all, I want to say much love and blessings to you, man, and your family, and I wish you the best. And that's very beautiful that you're so uplifting and able to channel that, That's real amazing. That's real inspiring. And that was great to hear, man, about the Chappelle thing, because I know that. I know that exact feeling. Because I was in the hospital with my mom, watching that, feeling that energy, So it's pretty surreal. It's pretty surreal when it happens.
Yeah, it's life is interesting. You got to just be yourself. You got to put yourself out there, and your energy is going to connect with another energy, and it's a wild ride. I mean, like I said, like I say it all the time. Like, who am I? Like, how did I get to connect? Like I said, we were talking about Jerobi. I mean, like last year too, to see someone like D Nice, and I consider D Nice one of the most genuine, loving people. That man we were at a Chappelle thing. He jumped off the stage, jumped down into the crowd, gave me a hug. Everybody was like looking like, who's like, everybody was trying to talk to him, get a picture. He ran to me and gave me a hug, and everybody was looking like, who the hell is he hugging? Nobody wanted to take a picture. Like, who is this guy? Like, I
Be
mean,
nice.
so I mean, to see him get what he's got this past year, that's just because that's who he is, and that's the love that he's given.
That's so, like, that's so random and deserving, and not random when you really know him. And I don't know him that well, but I don't think I ever even met him in person. I know about him, and but to see how it happened, because he definitely blessed my year. I was there every night, club quarantine. and then Quali started his shit, and I dubbed it Club Quarantine. Quarantine. I created that. I let him know that's one of my best creations of all time. And I remember when it first happened, I was always there, and I'm like, Club Quarantine, when I first thought of it, and I kept like spelling it out. Eventually, Tom was like, yeah, we get it, Sean. It's dope. Quarantine, you get it? It's genius.
And again, that's it's laughing at everything, and that's the thing. You gotta find. You talked about it earlier. We talk about it again. Find the humor in everything. Laugh at, and again, I've said this a million times, and I'll say it again. When I knew Donnell Rollins and I were going to connect, the first time he came to the house and we were talking, we were actually smoking a J, and I said to him, we were talking about comedy, and I said, my father taught me to laugh at everything in life, death, and everything in between. And exactly as I said that, he said it along with me, and that was it. Laugh at death and everything in between, and that's really it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not laughing, I mean, if you're laughing, you can't be upset laughing. Like, like you don't catch people like just smiling if they're upset, and you can't really be upset if you're laughing. So it kind of like cancels each other out. So it's kind of like a win-win. It's kind of like, oh, well, maybe if I laugh a little bit more, I'll be happier, So it's like, maybe I should watch something that'll make me laugh. It's like, it's amazing, man. And let me tell you how much I laughed. Like, I thought I've laughed a lot in my life. I've had some funny moments in my life. And then I go to the Chappelle summer camp, and it's like, man. And the funniest moments weren't even on stage.
Oh,
it's like just seeing and just being able to capture those, like, all those funny people in the same situation. And it's like, everybody got a bullet ready to go. It was like, oh, and Donnell's always ready. Like, he's always, and it's like you're King of New York. It's like, if a dime sale gets sold in my park, I want 10%. Straight Christopher Walken. Like, it's like, if there's a laugh in the room, I want to do it. It's like, because you will catch him out of nowhere. He's like, "What's Shane? Y'all laughing?" Boom. Like.
And that, like you said, it's backstage at a show. Yes, the audience got a great show, but what you don't realize is backstage. Backstage is the true show. I mean, I have seen, and I'm sure you've seen it too. I've seen circles of like Dave and Donnell and comedians and other people standing around Jerobi. There was one time I remember we were kind of standing on the outside and kind of just like listening, and the joking and the roasting. To see someone like Donnell and Dave go back and forth with each other, and to see them bring each other to each other's knees, to see them, one of them drop to his knee, slap the floor, get back up, go with the other one falls back up. That's a show. That's not something you're going to ever see on a TV or on a stage. That's it's magic. You said it before. It's magic.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, that is absolutely something. What do we got coming next from you?
So I'm dropping a video every Monday. I have been dropping a video every Monday for this 88 days a week. I got like 8 albums I'm doing this out. They're already finished. That are coming out this year. I saw, yeah. I've been working a lot, man. Last year was like kept me sane. Just So 88 days a week with California Terry. That's dope. That's I did that all in the swamp in Gainesville, here by UF and stuff. And then I got Incognito, another album coming with Thanks Joey. The Tell You Later song is finally coming out April 16th on Quali's album. So I'm excited for that. I can live up to my name. Hopefully that is really good.
That's definitely going to be a fun one, I'm sure. Oh my
That
God.
was such a hit song in that circle,
Oh.
but nobody else has heard that song. Like, and it's so crazy because like it goes to show you, you never know what's gonna hit. Like as far as your art or your creations or your investments. Like all my songs are investments. I wrote that song 2 years ago when Quali came to Orlando. I'm in Orlando right now, and Quali came here. We booked him for a show, and I opened up the show, and then we made the song after in the studio here at a homie's house. But I didn't think much of it. He's like, I'm doing something with Diamond D, but I don't know. He's like, I got some beats if you want to do something. I'm like, Diamond D? I was like, absolutely. I was like, I got something right now, and I did it. And I just like kind of like winged it and shit. And I was like, no. And then I made this record, and I didn't think much of it. I was like, it's a dope record. Like I hope Quali likes it, but I didn't hear nothing about it, man. And then that story happened. And I was like, that one? I was like, I got other songs, like I got crazy other joints that I thought would be the one, and it's like, that one? That's the one Dave loves and used as his theme song, like really? And like he came out to that song every night before I was there. And then when I got there, it was like every night they were ending the show with, whether I performed, I'd be like, oh man, really? This one? So like I played that song out to me, and it's not even out yet. Like it's like I've been promoting that song for a whole year, like a year and a half now. About a year and a half. It's just coming out, and we shot a crazy video for that in Ohio, like a rap video with like Maseratis and fucking it's great.
That's
So I'm excited for that to come out.
You got a lot of the people from the camp in the video?
Yeah, kinda. It's more like me and Quali vanity situation, But yeah, it's dope, man. We Stacey F's peace, and we used a local crew out there, called Crucible Media. They're dope. And they also did this song called "These Things Take Time" for me. I dropped that video. I don't know if you saw that. That was with Issa Ali, too,
Yes.
the homie.
Yeah.
And we filmed that in Dayton, Ohio, too. So I've been working a lot in Ohio, man. Like I've been there, so inspired. Federico about to give me a deal.
You like you said, just keep putting it out there. Put it out there, and you never know what's going to come. But put you out.
Yeah, I mean, why not, man? And the why not to like, why hoard your art? Like I've been hoarding too much art, man. I put out a lot of art, but I hoard more. And it's like, why? Like I'm always, me and Joey, we always be like, oh, but let's wait for the right moment. What's the right moment? Like you got to create the right moment. You got to manifest it, visualize it, and then execute it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to create it. You got to I didn't know that I was going to do all this, but I knew it. I knew I was going to do something like that. I didn't know how specific it was, And then for that to happen during the COVID situation, like after I was like, oh, well, my year's done. And then it's like you get a call, and then it's like, bro, it was like there's no COVID in fucking, Ohio during the camp, because it was like we were getting tested every day. So it was like super regulated. Everybody's like super safe, like every day we're getting tested. I've got 50 tests. Federico right there, he probably, gets tested every 30 minutes. It's a Donnell joke about getting tested. It's so good. He said his nose got me too and shit. Donnell, he probably got tests all the time, So it was a real safe situation. It was like, wow, this could happen. You know, this, and it happened. And, you know, so much art was created during that, man. You know, we made a record, you know, Seasick mixing. I don't know if you know him, but that's Federico.
Yeah.
Yeah, and master engineer, Quali and Chappelle Camp. Yeah. So, whatever it takes.
Oh man, and I'm really hoping again to hopefully and again I'm going to take that back. I'm not going to say hopefully. We will all see each other out there this summer at the camp. We will all have
Absolutely.
some laughs. We will all have some great. We will all put our phones away. We will all create some amazing memories. Um, and you know, it's that keeps you going. It's the good energy that just keeps you going.
That's well said, man. Beautifully said.
Now, so like you said, we're gonna have stuff coming out. So of course we can find you, Nico High here on Instagram. We can find you a YouTube. You got your YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
Spotify. Nico is
Everything. Yeah. Nico is best hair in the biz.
best hair. Exactly. What best? I'm trying to get there. Website or anything?
Yeah, many websites. I actually got I had to create a link tree because I got many websites. Because now the new thing is I'm doing a website pretty much per project. You know, so
Okay.
I want to get every project I do is like a whole thing, man. It's not just like collection of songs, just put them out. Like their experiences, they're all a movie, you know. So I want them to have their own world, you know. So it's not just like jumbled up, you know, like in 88 days a week. There you go. That's California Terry. We just dropped that, you know. So that got its website, you know. Sofrito got it album. Colors of the Culture got it, you know. So everything gets its own entity, but we're all under the same vibe, you know.
Wow. So that's truly creating art on all levels. Then
Yeah, I mean, I just create a lot, man. I make a lot of stuff, and it's not all the same. And I'm very big on albums, you know. Like I'm very big on creating a whole experience, you know. Like I don't want like just give you a record and just here's another record. It's like no, this is a whole thing. Let me give you a movie. You know, I feel like a lot of people just give you fucking scenes out of a movie, but they don't give you the whole movie. It's like I'm a whole movie guy. Like I want to give you a whole thought and keep it moving, and then go to the next one. You know, I'll give you another movie. You know. Shout out to Narcy. Look at that. Narcy has the album coming out with my producer. Thanks, Joey. Soon. New single. Me and Narcy did the summer camp theme song with Federico and fucking Chappelle and Donnell
okay.
and
We're gonna
Issa,
have to,
Ali.
just gonna have to. I think we're gonna have to get everybody. We're gonna have to have like a Team Chappelle meeting because I think you can bring I don't know 3 people, but we're gonna have to start. Narcy, I got to get Narcy on here one night too. But
Absolutely.
like you just got to just keep this energy, just this vibe going. It's just all good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of art to be created, and people can't be hoarding it anymore. Stop waiting for what you think's gonna happen, man. Let's make it happen. You know, like let's create the world we want. You feel me? Like that's what I did, and the circle just keeps getting bigger, and it just keeps bringing me to different circles that also did that. And it's like everybody there got their own. Just like, bro, you know, it's like trickle down art. You know, it's like you go fuck with me, then you go hear Narcy, and then Federico makes that. Well, Federico got his own studio in LA. Well, Federico did the Quali shit. Well, I did the Quali shit, and Quali did the Chappelle shit. And I did, you know, and it's like, then you see you, and then Donnell. Well, Donnell actually was in my video. You know, actually Donnell's on the record, but Donnell also got his own situation. You know, it's like super trickle down. And it's like with that, like we should cover all the bases. It's like, you know, some people are vegetarians, some people are meatitarians like me, you know, like some people are in between. So it's like you can't feed everybody with one thing. You're like, you know, like it's maybe Stevie Wonder can, you know. Maybe I hopefully can one day, you know, maybe not. There's some people who don't deserve my food. You feel me? Like, fuck them. It's not made for you. You know, like, but like Stevie, I think he could feed all of us. I think,
Absolutely, no
you
doubt.
know, Bob Marley.
Yes.
Bob Marley is like, okay, you know, if you don't like Bob Marley, you don't like yourself.
Yeah.
You know, but
That
that's
was,
rare.
that was one of the first things. I missed that growing up. Me and my daughter, when she was just a little girl, that was one of the first songs. Three Birds.
Wow,
I used to sing that every night before going to bed.
what a beautiful song, man.
It's every night. You know, that was our thing. So.
It never gets old.
No.
It just gets newer and newer, and that's like beautiful music. Was like every time you hear it, and you know, like I'm big on like context for everything. Man. Everything needs to be experienced in the right context. You know, and you know, you might try something and not like it, and it might be because you just weren't ready for it, or it wasn't the right situation. You know, I've been victim to that. You know, like I tried, you know, some shit bone marrow in the wrong situation. I was like, I don't like this shit. And then I tried, you know, bone marrow in the right situation. I'm like, oh, it's kind of good. You know, like when you pair it with this, you know, the right color, the right people, you know, like things got to be enjoyed in the right context, you know,
Yes.
and people these days don't really have context. It's just, it's just so much. It's like pop-up blocker. It's like that Chappelle skit with the fucking real life internet, you know, with the pop-ups and shit. Like one of my favorite skits.
And again, it's so much genius because we still watch it all the time here in the house, and it's amazing to see that and to see to go. I know that guy. I know that. Like you'll see like 40 in the background. I'll be like, yeah, there's 40. It's like it's amazing to know that you know the people that made history, and that show is history.
Yeah, he FaceTimed my mom on her birthday, bro. Like,
Wow.
and it was his birthday too. His birthday, I think, is the 26th,
No, his birthday,
24th,
Dave's because my birthday
August
is the
24th.
23rd. I'm the 23rd. I think Dave is the 24th or the 25th.
Wow, my mom's the 25th.
Okay, Bob. Yeah,
You're August 23rd?
I'm 23rd. Yeah.
Oh, Virgo, salute. That's great. You're a very good person then.
Yeah. Oh well, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So that was great, man. I literally asked Dave. I was like, yo, bro. And like, I wrestled with asking him. I remember even talking to Federico. I was like, yo, man. Because I was surprised my mom. I was like, yo, you think he'll FaceTime my mom on her birthday and shit? And so I whispering and shit. And Federico's like, yeah, G, of course. Of course, G. And I'm like, all right. But I kept down. I was like, you know, like, because that's a homie, man. But like, I don't want to ask favors for people, you know? Like, it could have been the wrong context. He could have been, not right now or some shit, you know? But I caught him at the right vibe, I guess. And then he was super about it. He's like, what? Absolutely. Call mama right now. And I was like, oh, shit. All right. I'm not prepared. Hold on. And I like, let me put my face on. Peace, Tara. And then, you know, that was an incredible experience. I filmed it. You got to check that. I'll send you the link. It was an amazing situation. Because I'm literally with him and I'm like, and it's like, happy birthday.
Yeah, and the thing is too is like that's who he is. We were at one event. I remember early on. It was I didn't really know everybody that well, and I remember I was standing on the floor, and I remember Jerry Seinfeld was right behind me. My wife and I were talking. Jerry Seinfeld was talking, I think, to Carla, and I was imitating. I was talking to my wife in a Jerry Seinfeld voice, just being
Jim?
silly. And then all of a sudden, Dave comes walking across the floor, and I see him. Carla was like, Dave, we got to get going. So walk by. As he's walking by, he spotted me, and he turned, grabbed me. Beard, how you doing? Big hug, how's the family, blah, blah, blah. And again, everybody's like looking like, and then he goes rushing off. But that's, if Dave knows you, then that's it. He's family,
Yeah, I mean, great people do great things, man. For us, yes. Like great people do great things, man, so, and I'm going to say that again, great people do great things. That was one of my first bands. It was called Great People. It was great. It really was great.
Now that's the thing too, because listening to a lot of your music, I forget what song it was. I was listening to something. You had a lyric from like an old Rush song in it, and I was like, damn, like you
From an
are
old what?
all over the place.
What was that?
There was a lyric from an old Rush song.
Oh, there was.
See,
Yeah, there was. I mean, that's not to say that I'm the biggest Rush fan or anything, because I'm not.
but it's great to see that versatility.
I do like Rush, man. I have been a fan of Rush in many situations. I really enjoyed that doc, too. That was a good-ass documentary on them.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
today's
that's the
Tom
thing.
Sawyer. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the lyric was. It might have been a Tom Sawyer line or something.
I don't. Yeah, I think it was. I forget what. I think it was from To Live and Die. To Live and Die in was it Utopia?
I don't know, man.
I think it was on that.
I'm gonna have to think about that.
but that's the thing though. Where do your lyrics come from? Because you can come off the top of your head anytime though. You're one of those, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, when I grew up watching radio freestyles, you know, watching all my favorite MCs go to the radio, like that was the thing, you know, like we're going to Funk Flex, we're going to Hot 97, they're just going to freestyle. And, you know, they never freestyled. They were always spitting written verses that they had saved, you know, or they would be prepared. Like that was the thing, like, yo, you going to Flex on Monday, you know, like, you know, in advance, you know, like so I grew up thinking that they were actually freestyling, you know? So I'd be like, oh my God, how did you do that? That's incredible. You know what? So I was like, always like big on myself. Like, yo, you gotta do it like them, you know? Like this, they're amazing. Look what they could do off the top of the head. If not, it's not, you know? So like I tricked myself into always doing that. And then eventually I found out, I was like, well, they're actually wrote and rehearsed that, you know, which is not to take anything away, but it's just a different art form, you know, like being able to like freestyle shit, like, you know, so I trained myself to do that. And I'm very blessed, man, that I fucking stuck with that, because I think that was really what brought out Kweli, you know, because like I did a song with him, you know, I paid him to be on the song. Like about 6-7 years ago, my partner Triska, my brother, um, saw him at a nightclub in Orlando and took care of him. He was like bottle man and shit. Got him some bottles, and they gave him my CD at the end. And it's like, yo, listen to this. Tell me what you think. And this was like right before I got incredible. Like I was pretty good, but like I was just finding my voice. You know, like I dropped this tape called Chill Cosby. You know, which
Yeah.
didn't age well. You know, because like, I'm the Chillosopher. So it was like Chill Recognize Chill. The first album was Chill 9. Then it was Chill Cosby, and there's gonna be Chill Clinton. That's a trilogy. You know, like Chill Recognize Chill. You know, so that was my whole shit back then. You know, so I had this album Chill Cosby. I had a song with Action Bronson. Like I was killing it locally. I was doing my shit. I was playing a lot of local shows and, you know, open mics and stuff. And then we did a song the next day. He was like, yo, your man is dope. I'll do the song for blah, blah, blah. We paid him a bunch of money, man. We paid him so much money. Small fortune, you know. And he got on my song, Carmen, which is named after my mother. Fire video. We filmed in Norway. Very dope. And, you know, and I got the feature, and I was like, all right, I got a song with Talib Kweli. Amazing. Life's going to be great. But I didn't, you know, it doesn't really work like that in hip hop, you know, like you hire people, they do a job for you and shit. And then, you know, like they don't really give a fuck about you normally. Like that's how it is. It's just like a business transaction. Usually it's not like a camaraderie. Sometimes it is, depends on the person, you know, but usually it's like, it's just kind of like a gig, you know? And then he kept coming to Orlando because his son was going to Full Sail, which is a music school here. And then he kept coming to Orlando. He kept coming to Orlando, and he would hit me up every time he was in town, and I'd take him out. I'd get him some trees, you know, like. And then I would catch myself in his hotel room after hours, like with the homies, like smoking, chilling, partying, you know. And then I would just freestyle, man, like for hours in his room, you know. And I remember there was this. I maybe shouldn't say this, but there was a specific person, model, who really enjoyed my shit, and like kept plugging, you know, this kid's really good, you should fuck with him, you know, blah blah blah. And then it kind of transitioned into like a friendship and camaraderie. But it was just like me always just freestyling, you know. I was like late night, like, yo, you know, thinking that. And he's like, you don't want to freestyle, like it's Talib Kweli. Like he would entertain me and shit, you know. He'd be like, yeah, I'll kick some raps at you, you know, like. But like I'd be like there, I'm like, yo, I'm here to fucking rap all the time, you know. Like I had to learn that things got to be more organic, you know. But I was really hungry at the time. I really wanted to make a situation, so I was rapping anywhere. I was like, yo, let me rap. And it's like, chill, bro. Like we're having dinner right now. Like it doesn't always work like that, you know. Now I know, because now I'm in the different seat. Now I'm the one that's like, you know, and it's kind of weird, you know. It's like you got to know about context. You got to know how to do things, you know. But Kweli just happened to be a staunch believer in me, bro, and changed my life. And his support really changed my whole fucking situation and career, you know, put me on. I'm very blessed for that.
But it was you being prepared. It was you training the right way that you did. Because I know for a fact, I don't know how long ago I saw it or whatever, but I know it was huge. What was it, the Sirius DJ Premier
Oh
freestyle?
yeah,
I mean, that was like that went crazy
yeah.
when that, like everybody was, who is this
I've
guy?
been training for that my whole life, bro.
There you
You
go.
know, like I literally been training for that my whole life, man. You know, I've been ready for somebody to just be like, "You go," and like, and that's how kind of made my name, is just fucking being hungry and freestyling all the time, and just give me the mic. Like I got something to say. Let me get it off, even when it wasn't polished. You know, now I hear my shit back, like when I was freestyling then. I'm like, oh wow, that's so. You know, like I just relax a little bit, bro. You know. And now I know. Now I'm more chill with it. Now it's like, bro, I don't gotta rap all the time. I live my raps now, you know. But like, there's a time where I be look at Narcy. I told you to stop rapping in my ear. That's true. And Narcy's like my rap brother, you know, and he raps the same way and shit. And I was just in Yellow Springs, inspired as hell. Everything I was thinking about a rhyme, and he's like, "Yo, all right, bro, chill." But Narcy got kids. He's like he's a father, you know. He's a beautiful father. So like, he's very patient. You know, because I'm just excited to be there, bro. Like we've been training for this our whole life. You know.
That's amazing, and to see it all come together, and like I said, just to watch it. I mean, you're going through it, but just to watch it is inspirational.
Thank you, man.
And it fuels people. It fuels me. It fuels people. Like I said, I never thought, in a million years that this is the direction that my life would go. That I would be in comedy, kind of, and I would have the connections, and I would know the people, and I would be able to call the people that I call family. I would have never thought. But again, I think it's one day just going, you know what, I just want to be myself. And I'm just going to start putting myself, and it can be lonely. You can, some people may not understand the direction that you're going and may back off, and that's fine.
Yeah. Quite a few people don't understand.
Yeah.
But, I was just about to rhyme. I literally just thought of a rhyme when I said that. I was like, a lot of people don't understand when you represent the motherland. That's my brother, man. I could have been an Usher fan, you know. I am an Usher fan. See, that happens a lot in my brain, man. Like sometimes I want to say something, it's like
one of my favorite lines before one of my favorite lines is, what is it? All my side chicks use Dove. What is it?
It's kind of like that. That was actually Mav, the guy who's featured on it. He's like, all my side chicks wear Dove, baby. Dove soap. I didn't even really understand it, because I don't know if Dove soap is that great.
Yeah,
it
doesn't make sense, but it's one of those stupid things that just gets you like, what? Like, what did
I use hippie soaps. I be having like the wild eucalyptus soaps, the fucking black soaps. Black soaps where it's at. So I don't know about that, but he did that. He's like, oh, baby, all my side chicks use Dove soap. I was like, all right. Dove soap it is. Yo, best Colombian food in Los Angeles. Yo, there's two places. There's one called Escala. Escala. It's a hip hop Colombian spot. It's amazing. It's owned by like Chino, this OG, man. OG. Yeah, OG, incredible people out there. They book a lot of hip hop. Check it out, Escala. And there's also one called La Fonda Antioqueña. That one is more underground hood. Escala is like fancy, maybe, but check that out. Bruce.
We're answering questions in the DM, and we're helping people out. Find good places to eat. We do it all.
Rose and Sal. Hey, I miss your furniture. That's a furniture store, antique store.
Oh, is that where that's where the shows happened all the time, right?
That's where the pop-up. Yeah, they had some pop-up jams there.
Yes.
It's a beautiful situation. They have a bunch of incredible antique furnitures, and then they do like a jam there with David Byrne.
Yeah, Fred was always there doing
Fred.
Stuff. Yeah, I
Oh,
was
Fred
like,
is on the song too. Fred is on the summer camp song too.
oh wow.
Yeah, it's Narcy, me, Fred, Chappelle, Mo Amer, Donnell, Michelle Wolf, Isali, DJ Fatty Lumpkin at the end.
It's beautiful.
Even
Yeah. Well,
Elaine, even Dave's wife says a line. Like we were after a while, like the song became so like I'll play it for you hopefully one day if Narcy allows it. Um,
please, Narcy.
I have to sign an NDA. I'll give you 20 NDAs to sign. Um, but that's been the worst. I haven't been able to send that song to nobody, and it's like my best. It's our best song ever. But soon, in due time, you'll hear. Everybody will. But like that shit became like an experience. Like me and Narcy wanted to put everybody in it in a certain way. Like even if it was just like an ad lib, like hey, you know, like Dave's wife is just like hey, you know, and it's like and there's like a little Michelle Wolf that's like hey, you know, it's like just little things like that. Federico, the engineer, is brilliant man, and him and Narcy did some crazy arrangement, and yeah, I'm really excited for it. It's very encompassing of our experience, you know.
It's amazing, and I don't want to get into it too much, but I know that a lot of what happened last year, there will be a lot more to be seen, and I cannot wait to see that.
Oh,
I mean,
me
that
too.
that's going to be another energy booster. That's, I mean, like I said, I know in this household here, it's going to boost us and it's going to give us such energy, but the world too. I mean, I know that what everybody you all created uh, an amazing. Again, I guess magic is the best way to put it, but and again that it's going to be kind of you're going to get to see more soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've all become really good friends. You know, like I call a lot of these people friends. You know, and we really were together for a long time, man. Like every day doing the same activities. Like it literally was a summer camp. You know, I never really did summer camp. I'm Brazilian and shit. I'm trying to recall. I don't ever think. I think I might have did. I never did like sleepaway summer camp. That's a thing, right? That used to be a thing
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
90s and shit.
yeah.
You used to send your kids away for the summer and like, or at least I saw that in movies. I don't know.
No, that's yeah, definitely a thing here. I did summer camp as a kid, but it was day camp. I came home.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, my summers I would go to Brazil and play soccer, you know, and capoeira and stuff. So I don't really know about summer camps, but like this is what I imagine a summer camp is. But it was like fucking legends, you know, and adults were like wilding, like stoned all the time. So it was definitely quite an experience, man. And it was like activities, you know, like it wasn't just like leisure and shit. Like Dave and the crew and Cena, you know, great man. Um, they really like orchestrated fun activities for people, man. You know, because it's like you got a lot of fucking incredible people there, and a lot of like famous people who are used to like being fucking treated and wined and dined and shit like that, and they're out in the middle of Ohio, and like there's nothing to do there, man. There's a lot to do there. You got to find the things to do. There's not like traditional things to do for fucking famous people. Like what the fuck are they gonna do? You know, like they don't. You know, like you have to like, you know, so like Donnell with the rivers and shit, like that shit was amazing. Kayaking, canoeing all the time, kickball, like, you know, it was quite an experience. It was quite an experience. And Donnell was like camp team, you know, leader and shit, you know, like counselor, camp counselor and shit. So he's very like active and driven about making all these things happen and shit. Like he literally would be pressing. He would go to the river every day
Oh yeah.
if it was up to him, you know. And like these are things I don't think he did before the summer camp because he's a New Yorker. He's a New Yorker as fuck. So it's like, you know, and Quali too. Like these, I mean, they've done some shit, but like for on vacation, not for extended. Like people were just there, bro, and they didn't have anywhere to go. Like they didn't have
It,
anywhere to be because they're just there, and that's
it,
rare. Like people are usually busy as fuck, you know.
oh,
Like
absolutely.
nobody had anything to do, bro. They couldn't even. There's no excuse. So when people left, they would hit me up when they left, already planning the next trip back. You know, like a Static Selecta, like all these like famous DJs, the homies, like, you know, because I was ingrained in there, and I kind of was like always just vibing and shit. I was like, I'm not leaving this place. This is amazing.
You can see how it changed people. Like I saw it in Donnell. I remember I think the first time after he did the canoe, I think he did the river thing. He called me the next day, and he was like a little kid, like like it because it was it was something new to him, and he had never
The River Ninja.
maybe didn't want to do it wasn't in his wheelhouse, and he did it, and I saw a change in him over that whole summer, and it's still, I mean, he's always growing and evolving, he's always learning, he's always changing, but I see the direction kind of changed a little bit. He's gone to definitely a much more peaceful, a much more all about the energy and all about the vibe, all that kind of stuff, and that's just from there. It's just from and I think the thing that he realized most was, and like you said it, you had a lot of high end people there, but they all had a great time because, and Donnell said this, he goes, I think everybody realized you don't need Hollywood anymore. You can create Hollywood anywhere. You can bring that energy. You may not have the same stuff that you have in Hollywood, but if you bring the right people, the right energy, you can, like you said, Ohio's not going to have what Hollywood has, but you can find in Ohio stuff just as fun, just as entertaining in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Again, context, man. You know, once you put people in that certain situation, like they're just gonna excel, bro. Like there's so much fun shit to do in the world when you take yourself out of the typical like celebrity shit. You know, like LA, bro. LA is whack. Like I lived in LA. A lot of the homies live in LA. You ain't shit in LA, bro. You know, like what the fuck's in LA? You know, it's like nightlife and fucking in and out and shit. Like you got to get out. California is a shit. You know, I love California, but like you got to get out and experience things. Like not being in fucking Hollywood, Chateau Marmont. You know, like fancy ass hotels. Like the fuck is that? You're not gaining anything from that except like vanity, which is amazing. I also love those places, but like after a while, it's like that whole metropolis energy doesn't last long. You know, you got to resort to nature. Like nature is where it's at, man. And a lot of people don't have that time to explore it. And that's what COVID was so dope, because it brought out the dope in people. It brought out the dopeness. Some people are way doper than they think they are, you know, and they just are not that dope because of context. They just don't have a way to, you know, express themselves. Like I've liberated so many fucking adult minds, you know, into going back to regressing into childhood, you know. It's like, bro, stop living like an adult. Like, what's wrong with you? You know, like we only got so long. Let's embrace, just live, you know. Let's get a little big willies and shit. Yeah. But for real, you know, because it was very different. It's like you're seeing all these people there and they're on fucking canoeing and they've never been and fucking shit like that, and they're so shocked, and it's like, bro, this is nature, right?
Yeah.
You never ate shrooms, went on a fucking canoe. Like, what's wrong with you? You know, like it's surprising. You know, some people just put up those borders on themselves purposely. You know.
Yeah, like you said, we learned a lot here in this house too. We always thought, because of my son's situation, we always thought that we had to be like here in the heart of everything. We had to be so close to the hospital and all his doctors, this, that, other thing. And we learned last year, I mean, you can do so much you know, I mean, where I am, it's house on top of house on top of house on top of house. We live in the attic of an old house. And like, we were like thinking, like, I started looking at like property out in Ohio, and like your money goes, and, hey, you can go out there and you cannot see a neighbor.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing the way that and it's just like, so like, you know, we're actually thinking like we were stuck in that, well, this is where we need to be, this is where we need to be. No, we really don't. If we can have a better life, better environment, then that's something that we're working towards now.
Wow, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. And it's dope that, you know, you guys are open to situations like that. Like, you know, there's no one way to be, man. And, you know, we're raised through our certain situations, man. And it's like, some people are just, that's what they do, man. It's like, you live in New York, like you're never going to leave from New York. That's your life, you know. But it's like, there's probably better living than in New York, you know. Like, these type of places are, I don't know. I'm not trying to slander New York. I love New York. But I love to visit New York. I could never live there, you know. Like, I love to visit New York. It's a vibe. It's beautiful people and shit like that, you know. But that's what makes New York, really, is the people. The people are incredible, man, you know. But it's like, there's more, man. Let's go into nature, you know. And that's because I grew up in Florida. I'm Brazilian, and I grew up in Florida. And I'm just recently even exploring even more. Like, I've always been more of a beach guy, And then within the last few years, I started getting into the rivers, into the springs, and it's like here, it's just endless, man. It's endless exploration, you know.
It's amazing when you open your mind. I'll never forget years ago, my wife and I drove out to Colorado, and I had never been. I really
I
never.
love Colorado.
Oh, driving. I don't know where we were, but I mean, you're driving. All of a sudden, you're surrounded by mountains, and it's like you feel like you're in a painting, and it's not real. And I remember stopping at like a Quick Check or something like that, and I come outside, and I remember I was standing there. I got a drink or whatever. I was standing in front of the place, and I was just staring at the mountains. And I was, absolutely just happened. I wouldn't have noticed. I was just in awe of the beauty. And a guy walks up to me and goes, "Hey, you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, I'm just enjoying this. I'm from Jersey. I live right outside New York. I've never seen anything like this.
Jersey, what a
And the guy
difference.
just like, he goes, "You live by New York?" He's like, "Oh my God." He goes, "You're right by the city." He goes, "How amazing." He goes, "Oh my God, I want to go to the city." And I was just like, he was like, "How does it look?" And I was just like, "This." I was like, he was like, "No." He goes, "This is great," And I guess because his whole life has been there, it doesn't mean anything to him anymore. He was excited about hearing about New York, while I was just in awe of the mountains. And he didn't even like it. I was just like this. He's like, "What? Like what? It's a mountain." Like, no, it's not a mountain. That's amazing.
That's just so crazy, man. And that's so on point, man, because that's just crazy how people can have such differing opinions, just based on context. And I'm blessed that I've traveled a lot. So I've been to a lot of these places and I'm always in awe, bro. I'm always in awe. Like this world is crazy. Like you have no idea. I have no idea. I've been many places. I haven't been half the places I want to go. I can't even imagine how much more beauty is out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like people take it for granted when you have it all the time.
Yeah.
I took a lot of things for granted in Florida. I didn't love Florida like that when I was raised here. And then I had to move. I had to move away. And then now I love Florida because I don't really live here anymore. I just visit. And I'm always here now because it's just amazing. Like there's just offers so much that I didn't get to experience before. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm falling in love with it again, like, so it's dope, man. I think I think traveling, man. Traveling is really where it's at. Once you travel, you get to appreciate what you got. You get to appreciate what you don't have or what you want. You're able to see new things. You'll be able to see what you want, So that's really changed my whole life and my music,
Yeah.
But I grew up traveling, I grew up
I,
traveling, so.
yeah. I mean, I miss it. I mean, we don't get to travel much with my son, but I mean, before, one of my favorite places, my wife and I used to go to Puerto Rico every year.
Love Puerto Rico.
And she has a lot of family out there, so we would get to see Puerto Rico.
Nice.
Not, like like anywhere you go, Florida, Brazil. I'm sure, there's the tourist area, and then there's okay, this is what the locals know about. When you get to see that, the true, like I said, like Puerto Rico, like we went to places, little bars out of the way, people's homes,
Yeah,
playing
Puerto Rico's the
dominoes.
best for that, though. Puerto Rico's the best for that. I'm going there soon. I'm going back soon. I'm in love with it. I think that's one of the best places in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My favorite place.
I got a fire video I filmed in Puerto Rico. You should check it. I don't know if you've seen it, called Oh Hector, featuring Thurston Howell III.
Thurston Howell the third. The actual Thurston Howell the third?
Yeah, Puerto Rican. The Puerto Rican.
See, my kids are Jewish Ricans because I'm Jewish and my wife is Puerto Rican,
Amazing.
so I got Jewish.
Amazing. Yeah, this is the Puerto Rican. He's a Puerto Rican legendary MC. I don't know. You know about Thurston Howell III and the Low Lives? They're famous for like polo snatching and like they pretty much created polo usage. What? He's an amazing MC. Thurston Howell III.
I probably, if I heard something, I'd be like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's a Puerto Rican OG legend that only wears polo. Everything is polo, so he's the Puerto Rican. That's fucking brilliant. He's a great MC, and he's like a father of Spanglish style, so he's kind of like one of the people that I looked up to and shit that really were innovative in creating that type of style.
How many languages do you speak?
3.5. Three.
Yeah, because it's interesting too to hear a couple of different. Because like my wife was listening too, because she's Puerto Rican, and like some of the stuff she was like, okay, that sounds like it's this, and then that sounds like it's this.
Yeah, well, the last album I did, Sofrito, is a Puerto Rican album, pretty much. It's the producer El Bless is Puerto Rican, and Yeah, and Orlando is very Puerto Rican. So there's like it's little Puerto Rico everywhere here, you know. It's amazing. And yeah, that's why I love Puerto Rico. I was in love with Puerto Rico before I went to Puerto Rico because I go down the block over here. It's Puerto Rico, you know. It's like straight up Puerto Rico over here. Like they don't even speak English there. And I'll go over here. It's Brazilian.
Miss that enchanted island. I tell you, I miss that vibe of that island so much.
Yeah. Well, soon, man. Soon we'll all be there.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, love, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Again, I cannot thank you enough for this. This was exactly what I expected. An amazing energy, an amazing vibe,
Absolutely.
love, and an inspiration. And again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you, all
You
you
too,
do.
brother. And peace to your family, man. God bless you. Nothing but love.
And again, keep that energy because, like I said, your energy, not just from like talking to you and Instagram, your music, you're one of those people who constantly just brings a beautiful energy to the world. So
Thank you, brother.
keep doing that.
Right.
Keep doing that.
Hey, I got one for you. There are ships made of wood. There are ships made of steel. But the best ships are friendships because those are real. Love, brother.
Peace,
Peace, man.
love, and laughter. Nothing more
Yes,
needs to be
sir.
said after that, man. Good night, everyone.
Love.